Good morning. It is June 17th. I'm Armstrong Williams. Thank you. You really got to admire the chutzpah of Rahm Emanuel, the White House Chief of Staff, who took to the political shows on yesterday to throw down the gauntlet challenging Republicans this November. Well, he used Republican Congressman Joe Barton's apology last week to British petroleum executives as the single best indicator of how Republicans will govern should they take control of Congress come November. To an individual who sees everything through a political lens, Barton's momentary stupidity was symptomatic of a deeply held philosophy. Emanuel was quoted saying, and I quote, "In the coming weeks, you'll see the president speak to the country about these competing different philosophies. That is, do you have only the energy executives in the room, or do you have the energy executives, environmentalists, and other people from the venture capital community come to a consensus on energy policy? Do you think that BP is the agreed party here? Do you think that Wall Street should be left alone and not have any reforms? Elections are about choices. Those are what is fundamental. There is a difference in our philosophies." End the quote. In Bush parlance, Emanuel's comments was his own unique version of "bring it on." This fight is now less about the American people and more about beating the snot out of Republicans. Watch Churchillian courage on display here. There are two overreaching conclusions to draw from his actions this past weekend. First, the White House is clearly looking toward November and nothing else. This tedious notion of actually having to govern is distracting. Obama's staff would much rather play the populist card by engaging in some good old-fashioned class warfare, dusting off the playbook on how to label opponents as Rockefeller Republicans. You can bet everything it does from here through the fall will be politically charged with very little concern regarding outcomes. Good legislation will be mere byproducts. The most important thing is to label Republicans as what? Out of touch. Second, none of this matters. The die is already cast for Obama, particularly when it comes to the Gulf spill. He owns that disaster, and very little will shift the public blame away from this administration. So while Sunday was a telling sign of the bravado of this White House and a signal that is spoiling for a fight, there's also desperation beginning to seep through. Desperation leads to carelessness, and right now, Emanuel's team can't afford any more missteps. I'm Armstrong Williams.